What is going on, everybody? You are tuned into the third episode of the Give Me the Points podcast for the second season. It is Wednesday, July 27th in the year of our Lord 2022. On this episode, Tyler and I will go through the North divisions. We're going to talk about the AFC North, the NFC North, and a whole shitload of player props. So in honor of the AFC North,
screaming that's done. But I pulled up the line, that's done. Everything my town, new city, you know everything. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. I put it down from the wig to my diamonds. I'm in black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
it just happens to be Wiz Khalifa every week.
Yeah, well, I mean, we knew about him first unless you live in our area, so that's pretty much a fact.
Yeah, that is correct. Taylor Alderdice, him and Mac Miller, rest in peace. Speaking of that, Mac Miller, an unheard mixtape dropped last week. Brand new Mac Miller music, good stuff. Actually, a song with Ariana Grande on it.
Ooh, okay. Well,
it's on Spotify. Give it a listen. It's like old Mac. It's good. It's
that's what I like is the older stuff.
It's good Mac Miller. But yeah, so we've covered the East and the South. We got the North, and we're saving the best for last. The West is the best, so we're going to save that for last. I know the plan here was to do some college this week, but I think we're just so geeked for the NFL. Neither one of us could really focus on college right now, so we wanted to get through the North.
Yeah, I mean, I love college football, like the sport as a whole, just as much as the NFL. But like when I'm getting pumped for football season, like I'm getting pumped to go to college games. I'm getting pumped to talk about NFL and watch Red Zone all day and watch it's getting excited for NFL season right now.
Correct. Speaking of college, real quick, West Virginia. Do you know what their total is on wins?
I haven't looked, actually. It's probably at like 5.5. Pretty sure it's left.
Bingo. 5.5.
Yeah, they're going to. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're going to make a bowl game, so.
So you would think they're going to hit it, right?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. I know. Listen, we will have a college episode before the season starts because we're going to run out of weeks covering the NFL. So we will have a college episode before the season starts. So we'll save those for that. I do want to talk about this real quick because I saw it on Instagram today and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Let me get my cheaters on here so I can read. So somebody posted and it was introducing the 2022 college football all-name team. So you can only imagine what we're going to get into.
Yeah.
So leading the team at quarterback, Oklahoma's fourth-string quarterback, General Booty.
That's not real, is it?
No, yeah, absolutely it is.
Come on.
Dude, he's a real person. His first name is General. His last name is Booty, Booty.
Mm.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. I remember when he came last year. I was like, wow, that's a great name, General Booty.
Yeah.
And then probably the most famous name on this list, the coldest to ever do it, Crawford.
Yeah, everybody's seen that. But that's like, That's not your like God-given parent name. You changed that.
Did he?
Right. I mean, I would freaking think so. Like
first name the coldest, middle name to ever do it, last name Crawford.
Yes. I don't know his parents, but I'm telling you, they didn't name him that. They just didn't.
I mean, listen, no offense to any of our listeners from down south, but the kid is from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah, I know, but that's extreme.
All right. And then you have a defensive end sophomore for Ole Miss. His name is Demon Clowney. First name Demon.
Yeah.
Might be pronounced Demon. But it's
we're going by spelling right now.
Yes. Senior defensive end from Boston College. His name is Shitta Silla. Shitta.
Oh God.
Shitta Silla. Kid from Arkansas, linebacker, senior, bumper pull. Damn, man. Florida, redshirt freshman. From Georgia, his name is Chief Borders.
Okay.
That's not that bad. Chief isn't that bad.
No, that's not that bad.
There's way worse out there. Speaking of way worse, North Carolina junior defensive back. First name Storm, last name Duck. USF has a wide receiver. His name is Aju.
Okay. Well, that's like a cock.
Yeah, right. Redshirt freshman playing at Wyoming. His name is Buck Coors. It's not bad.
No, that's just a couple. That's Redneck's favorite thing.
Redshirt kicker at West Virginia, Casey Legg.
Yeah, Casey Legs. I mean, it's a perfect kicker name.
It's just like Dicker the kicker, baby, from Texas.
Yeah.
Here's one, man. This is Alabama. This kid's playing at Bama. Sophomore defensive back. First name. And I'm sure this is just what he goes by. This can't really be his first name, but this is what he will go by. This is what he's going to be called. First name, Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid McKinstry. And then you have Ohio State, Steel Chambers, which that's a strong name.
Yeah.
It's a very strong name. Let's see. Kid from Kentucky, Octavius Oxidine. And then UAB has a defensive lineman. His name is Fish McWilliams. Who is this? I don't even know what team this is. I don't even know who they are. His name's Panda. That's it. No last name. Just name Panda.
That's solid.
Yes.
That's making a statement.
Correct. Kid playing at UTSA, defensive back. His name's Pig Cage. And then you have Boogie Knight playing at Iowa State, graduate student wide receiver, Boogie Knight. So, yeah, I mean, there's some good ones. Kids can change your name to whatever they want. And in college, you really can just go by whatever you want.
Yeah.
So, but college will be coming up. I am super excited for the season. I'm excited to see what Georgia can do. Notre Dame put out a ridiculously long video, to reveal their jerseys, and it was like The Hangover, where they meet in the desert and they get out, and
it was cool.
Huh?
It was cool.
It was cool, but the jerseys are they're Notre Dame jerseys. They're the most plain jerseys out there.
They're going to be the same thing roughly every year,
except for the helmets. Notre Dame's got the best helmets in college football, and
they're nice.
Convince me otherwise, man. Those gold helmets are so clean.
They are nice.
All right, NFL. So this weekend we'll post the player props that we've narrowed down. We narrowed down some team totals. We've got our team totals that we like, and the player props we're working on. We will post those this weekend on Instagram. We're going to start it off with the NFC North. I'm going to start it off with what I think to be the easiest win total in the entire division. The Bears. The Bears are posted at 6.5. The plus 120 is the over. The minus 140 is the under. Looking through these divisions, man, there's not a win total I like more than the Bears under 6.5. And I don't even care that it's minus 140. I love them to go under 6.5 this year.
Yeah, no, they stink. The roster stinks. They gave Justin Fields whatever you would consider giving your second-year quarterback help is. They did the opposite. I mean, I like Darnell Mooney a lot. I love him, actually, and it's
Mooney's
him and bums. The NFL version of bums.
Yeah.
So, N'Keal Harry's the second wide receiver, too.
It's bad, man.
That's wild. That is wild.
So I'm pulling up their depth chart here. So, actually, and it's not really that much better. Their wide receiver 2 right now is listed. It's Byron Pringle.
Okay, yeah.
Wide receiver 3 is N'Keal Harry. Wide receiver 4 is Equanimous St. Brown, Notre Dame. And that's, they suck. They suck.
If they won 5 or 6 games, I feel like it would be a hell of a year for them.
I'm trying to figure out how. Like what?
No, I mean, I don't even think they'll win that many, but like
the
even
defense is going to struggle.
Yeah,
it's rough. It's super rough. And Justin Fields is going to be thrown to the wolves. Offensive line's bad. David Montgomery can only do so much to help him out. But there is did you find a player prop for the Bears that you like?
Yeah, I
Okay.
like Darnell Mooney over 5.5 receiving TDs. It's a
Okay.
minus 130, but they're going to be down in games. That's his top receiver. 17-game season. He's got to catch 6 touchdowns on a bad team as number 1 target. That's going to be down a lot. I mean,
yeah, I can get behind that. So I'm actually going to go the opposite side of Justin Fields' game. And we played this last year with Jalen Hurts at a very similar number. And Justin Fields rushing sitting at 525.5.
yeah.
He had 420 last year and only played in 10 games. I don't see how Justin Fields can't get the 600 rushing. I mean, he's going to have to use his legs. He's going to get chased around all the time. I really like Justin. In order to get the best out of Justin Fields, you have to let Justin Fields be a playmaker.
Yes.
And I think we're going to see like a similar scheme to Kyler Murray when he first came in.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be, hey, kid, make plays with your legs, and if there's guys open, hit them when they're open.
Yeah,
So I like Fields over 525.5 for his rushing. Next team is a team that I've got some pretty high hopes on, actually. A team that I think improved across the board in every position, offensive line, defense, the secondary. The Lions sitting at 6.5. The over's minus 125. The under's plus 105. I personally like the over here. I think the Lions can win 7 games. I think, would they win 6 last year? There's 5.
Yeah. It was under that.
But obviously the addition of Jameson Williams plus DJ Chark, the emergence of Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift being healthy, Jamal Williams being healthy, they surrounded Jared Goff with weapons. Obviously, TJ Hawkinson's one of the best young tight ends in the NFL. So Goff's got all the weapons around him. And I live and die with Dan Campbell, man. But
I like the over a lot. Like, I actually love the over for them. I think they should be a pretty good team. I mean, Goff is kind of terrifies me because they only won 3 games last year, by the way. It feels
they were 7 or 8 games within 1 score.
Yes, and I feel like every damn one of those games, red zone would be like, here's a Jared Goff turnover in the absolute most inopportune time possible.
Fumble at the 5-yard line. Yeah, just bad.
Yes,
bad stuff.
So let's hope he got all that out of his. I mean, he'll cost them a game or 2. He's Jared Goff, but like, hopefully not every game because
they get the Bears twice.
Yes, they play the Bears twice, and like you said, they kind of improved across the board, and I do like the coach, and as long as Goff is just like average, which if we're being honest is what he is, like maybe below average, but it's not like he's the worst quarterback in the league. I mean, he even played fine last year for a lot of the games. It was just those like crucial mistakes at literally the worst time possible. So if he can cut that out, 6.5, I think they'll hit the over.
Yeah. All right. This is one team I did not find a player prop for that I really liked. I looked at a lot of Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I also looked at a lot of DeAndre Swift, but his numbers are super high. His combined total rushing and receiving was like 1,450 or something, which is, he could have a great year. I mean, he could have 900 on the ground, and he's a threat out of the backfield receiving. They use him a lot in the passing game. So he could have 900 and 500 and 13 touchdowns, and he would hit all of his, his combined unders. So
Yeah.
it's just there's a lot of expectation out of DeAndre Swift this year. And personally, I expect a lot out of him. So it's hard for me to take the under. I just think the totals they're too high for me to take the over either.
Yeah, so for Amon-Ra, his receiving yardage total is only 850.5. I do like that.
Yeah, he hit 900 last year.
Yeah.
But that it was also he wasn't an integral part of the offense until the final 8 or 9 weeks, I believe.
Right.
In those final 7 weeks, man, it was like 15, 16, 17 targets. I mean, Jared Goff was just feeding the kid the ball.
Yeah.
So, but with the addition of DJ Chark and Jameson, I don't know if he's going to get that. He's not going to get that many looks. He's not going to get that many targets.
Well, no, yeah, he's not.
But I do think when he gets the ball, he's super productive. He's a good route runner, and he's really good after the catch. But that's a team that I'm not comfortable hitting a player prop on, but I do like the over 6.5.
Yes, I do too.
All right. Packers, question marks all over the board. Don't know what to expect. Total still sitting at 10.5, still big favorites to win the division. Over at -160, under at +135. I know this is crazy, man. I don't like either side of this.
Well, I like the over, but I don't like -160. I don't think that's worth betting.
Correct. I don't like -160
under that. So they still have Aaron Rodgers. So
they do have still, but God, this is the worst receiving core he's ever had.
Yeah, it is.
It's not good. Yes, he has Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. Bakhtiari's back, which is huge. That's vital for Aaron Rodgers' health. And I don't know. The defense lost some pieces. Zadarius Smith's gone. So I don't know.
I guess I'm at the spot where I like it because he's still him. But I actually like that they made the odds so shitty, so I don't feel comfortable betting it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
So did you find a player prop for the Packers? Because I have one that I like.
Okay, what's yours? I didn't find one.
Okay, so you still, it's still Aaron Rodgers, right?
Right.
Aaron Rodgers has the same passing yards total as Mac Jones. He's at 3950.5.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, in his 12 seasons that he's played the entire year, is 11-1 to going over 4,000 yards passing.
Yeah, so what you're saying is he's going to hit the over.
If Aaron Rodgers plays the full season, I don't see how he doesn't go 4,000 yards, man.
Yeah.
So if you're betting the under, you're betting Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. I can't fathom how Aaron Rodgers does not hit 4,000 yards here. I think in his only season that he didn't hit it, he was at like 39-22. So, and he might have missed the game. He might have sat out the final game that year. I didn't even look. It's blatantly obvious the years that he missed. We know the years that he was hurt. And the year that he was at 39-22, there's a really good chance he sat out week 17.
There was also those years where they were so dominant, he'd throw for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns against the Bears in the first half and then just sit the second half.
Right. And I think they're going to have to compete for the division this year. And maybe that's why I don't like the over as much as you, because I'm super high on the last team in this division, the Vikings. The Vikings at 9.5, the over at +105, love it. Under at -125. But there's a play I like even more than the over +105 for the Vikings, and that's the Vikings to win this division at +300. I think this is it. I think this is the year. Kirk is surrounded by playmakers. I mean, you've got obviously Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison in the backfield. And then the receiving core across the board. You have Osborne at your 3. You have Adam Thielen at your 2. And obviously Jay Jetta's at number 1. And Irv Smith is back and healthy. And I think Irv Smith is one of the most versatile young tight ends in all of football. I'm really, really all in on the Vikings this year. I love the Vikings to win this division. If you told me a gun to my head I had to pick Packers or Vikings. I'm taking the Packers. But
Yeah,
if you're giving me 3-1 of my money that the Vikings win this division, I like the Vikings to win the division at plus 300.
I can't get behind them winning it. I can get behind the fact that I do think they have a decent chance to, and those odds are good. I can get behind that. I just have trouble taking Kirk Cousins over Aaron Rodgers, like you
Dude,
said.
Kirk had a great year last year.
This isn't knocking Kirk Cousins. I'm just, comparing him to Aaron Rodgers. But it's not gun to your head, pick one. It's betting, which means odds matter.
Correct.
And those odds are phenomenal for a team that definitely should be at least challenging for the division. Which, by the way, that could help us with Aaron Rodgers because with that over, if they're challenging for a division, he's not sitting games.
Yeah. And bringing in Kevin O'Connell and getting rid of the dinosaur Mike Zimmer is huge. Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, he might unlock that offense.
Yeah, exactly. A more offensive-minded coach. I mean, he was the OC in Washington and then with the Rams as well. So Thielen back healthy after the knee injury, man. Yeah, I really do. I really like this offense, and I really like to see what they can do this year.
You can pick one LSU receiver from that championship team to have as your receiver for the next 5 years. Who are you taking?
Jamar Chase.
I'll say I'd take Justin Jefferson.
No, I mean, I got to take Jamar Chase. You know what? We have 2 years of Justin Jefferson. We have 1 year of Jamar Chase. Yep. Okay, so it's tough. It's so close. I mean,
Justin Jefferson came in and adjusted without having the same quarterback that threw him the ball in college. Not that that's Jamar.
But you can't hold that against Jamar Chase.
No, I'm not. It's just Justin Jefferson's amazing.
Oh, he's very good. It was crazy, like when we saw how good DK and AJ Brown really were, and we were like, dude, how were they on the same team in college football? And now you see Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and you're like, wow.
They're fucking LSU team, dude. Oh my god. And Terrace Marshall just, as well.
A kid in Carolina that I think has potential to be really good.
Yeah, no, that team was fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Randy Moss's kid, right? Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. At tight end. Yeah. Big ass kid. So do you find a player prop on the Vikings that you like?
No, because all their damn skill players are so good, and the totals reflect that.
I know. So, and I'm again going quarterback here. Kirk Cousins at 4,050.5. He's 6-1 to the over on that number in his 7 years as a starting quarterback in the NFL. And to reiterate, the new offense, the new head coach, an OC, an offensive-minded head coach coming in, and all the skill positions around him, man, I think Kirk goes for at least 4,100 this year.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I can.
Right. So that's the NFC North. We covered the player props. We'll move on to the AFC North here, which I am just excited about because the Steelers are going to suck. So that's the big thing here. You want to start? We'll start with the Browns.
Okay.
Big question mark here. If Deshaun Watson, is he going to play 15 games? Is he going to play 9 games? Is he going to play any games? I know FanDuel and DraftKings don't have odds on him, but I think it was BetUS had the Browns at 9.5 wins, the over at -120, the under at +100. Based off of the question mark of Deshaun Watson, I love under 9.5 here because he's going to miss games.
Yeah. I mean, if he was playing the whole year, slam that over, I think.
Sure. Yeah. The Browns have only hit double-digit wins like once in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's still the Browns. And again, they're still having quarterback issues. Somehow, some way, this team cannot get away from quarterback issues.
No.
So Deshaun Watson went on the field, top 5 quarterback in the NFL, but he's got to be on the field.
Yeah, I guess if you can find a site that lets you bet with the win total and you can bet the under right now and it's sitting at something like that, definitely do it. But, like you said, He's not going to play the whole season. I mean, it's
Who
the
is it,
NFL.
Jacoby Brissett right now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because obviously Baker's gone.
Yeah, so Jacoby Brissett right now is slated to be the quarterback for possibly 8, 9, 17 games. Who knows?
Yeah.
Player prop for the Browns that I just absolutely love. I've said it for years, and it has nothing to do with him being a Georgia Bulldog. Nick Chubb is the second best runner in the NFL.
A little bit to do with him being a Bulldog.
Little bit, maybe a little bit.
A smidge.
Nick Chubb might be okay. No, you know, Derrick Henry's the best.
No, Nick Chubb's the best. Derrick Henry's bigger. King Henry is a god. Nick Chubb's the best pure runner in the NFL.
Okay, sure. Nick Chubb, best pure running back in the NFL. Did you see what his total's sitting at?
No, I didn't even look at anything for the Browns because once I didn't see the win total, I was like, well.
1150.
Oh, boy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's an over.
1260 last year, missing 2 games, 1100 in 2020, playing only 12 games, and then 1494 in 2019. Kid averages 5.5 yards a carry over his career, man.
The 2 different arguments, no Deshaun Watson, okay, they'll rely on him more, so that helps him. Then if you said, oh, well, they're going to have Deshaun, they're going to throw the ball more, well, then that also helps him.
Absolutely.
So either way.
And you can be the emergence of Dearness Johnson and Kareem Hunt. I don't care.
Dearness Johnson is number threaten Kareem Hunt. He's not going to threaten Nick Chubb.
Correct. Yeah. Nick Chubb over 1150.5. Love that play.
Yes.
All right. Next team, we'll do the Bengals.
Okay.
Bengals at 9.5. The over at -130. The under at +110. Thoughts?
I like the over. I don't love the -130, but I do like the over. I mean, the Super Bowl hangover is typically a real thing, but they made it in spite of their offensive line, and it's improved this off season. And that was their biggest freaking flaw.
Correct.
So I like the over.
Yeah, I do too. I just think it would be such a huge disappointment for a team to be 2 seconds away from winning the Super Bowl. To winning single-digit games. Just 10-7 seems too easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the over 9.5 here for the Bengals. I think that's a good play. T. Higgins, a player prop that I was looking at. T. Higgins over 6.5 receiving touchdowns in his first 2 years. He's got 6 and 6, and I watched a lot of Bengals games last year. I bet a lot of T. Higgins to score a touchdown in those games. If you followed us last year, you saw a lot on Instagram where it was T. Higgins anytime touchdown scorer, and I'm sticking with it this year, man. I think he's got to go over 6.5. I think a lot of focus is going to be on Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins should have a breakout year, really.
The thing with I'm not like the biggest analytics guy. I feel like you have to use that and just watch football too. But they always talk about regression to the mean, whether it's positive or negative. Like receiver is not going to catch the amount of touchdowns Jamar Chase did every year.
No.
Right. I mean, he's amazing. He's freaking amazing. But he's not going to do that every year, and that's fine. Which means some of his touchdowns are going to get distributed around. And T. Higgins is a beast.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the second half of the year, him and Joey really found that connection that they had in the rookie year for a little bit there.
Absolutely. So, yes, I agree completely. And Hayden Hurst. I like Hayden Hurst this year. I know you know that. Obviously I'm not going to play any of his props, but I do think that he's going to play a good role. CJ Uzoma's out, so I do like Hayden Hurst to provide the ability.
So what you're saying is random week 15 Hayden Hurst anytime TD scorer, look for that.
Yeah, I mean there might be
there
might be some. You never know. You never know. Maybe like a 2-touchdown scorer game for Hayden Hurst, because I think Uzoma, when he caught touchdowns, it was in multiples. It was 2, 2, and 2.
Yeah.
So all right. Squealers, 7.5.
I bet we disagree.
Just bet the under, guys.
Oh.
Really?
It just feels to me like Mike Tomlin will scrounge them to 8 wins. Because, okay, here's my thing. Answer me this. Honestly, honest question.
Okay.
Are you telling me Mitch Trubisky is going to be any worse than last year's Ben? I mean, is he really? I don't think they're good. I don't. You know how
Well,
I
here's the
told
thing.
you?
How long? I mean, they drafted Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, and all these reports are about, Sitting's idea. I mean, look, he could start week 1. It wouldn't surprise me. He could be inactive the first 13 weeks sitting and doing it, the right way, and that wouldn't surprise me either. I don't – okay, this is where I'm torn. I don't think the Steelers are good, but their defense should be they better be pretty decent with what they're paying and the names they have on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, they've still got weapons on offense. And, you can have, Mike Tomlin's been a disappointment because he hasn't won playoff games. Well, we're not betting playoffs. He gets them wins in the regular season. And I just feel like they could win 8 games and have a losing season.
So their run defense was so bad last year.
It was.
And they're going up against probably they're in the best division for rushing.
Okay, but can we admit, Steelers-Ravens game, throw everything out because it doesn't matter how either one are?
No, not this year. No.
You don't think?
No.
Okay. Let me
margin of victory over the 2 games, the Ravens 30+.
Okay. Let me make my stance clear here.
I said it.
I'm not recommending a bet or a play on the over, but I just don't feel like I can recommend the under. That's all.
Okay. All right.
I know we do agree on the Ravens, though. That's for damn sure.
Even though that they've got the Bengals twice, the Ravens twice, and then 8 of their 11 non-divisional opponents all had winning records last year.
Yeah, because I really think
brutal.
I think they'll be decent, which is great to me because the Steelers being decent is shitty.
We were the opposite last year. I thought the Steelers were going to be good, and you were like, dude, no way.
Yeah, well, I also talked shit on Ben and his 40-year-old fucking surgically repaired 12 times elbow, and that's not here to talk shit on this year. So
I can't. Oh my God! I thought we were going to be so together with this. Oh,
which means who the hell knows? Because
they're gonna suck. All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
But yet, I wouldn't be surprised if they won 8 games. That's all.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Would it shock you if they did? Just it's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah, this year it really would.
Yeah. Their
Man,
offensive line's terrible.
You are a Bill Belichick believer, and you are a Steelers will be a decent team believer, and you are on the under on both.
I know. This is the year. This is the year where I just go, awry and just do whatever I want. I don't know. So player prop for them that I do like, and this goes with the under. Najee Harris, total yards. It's at 1,600.5.
That's a fuck ton.
Absolute fuck ton.
That's another situation. He rips off 1,490 total yards and 12 total touchdowns. That is a hell of a year. That's the under.
Dude, he had 1,667 last year. Do you know how many carries he had?
8,000.
No, but seriously, how many carries did he have?
Probably above 250, right?
307.
Yeah.
Do you know how many catches he had?
80-something.
75.
Yeah.
That kid had 382 touches.
And if anybody's built for the workload, it's that dude. But
he's not. 382 his rookie season.
Yeah.
And he hit 1,667. He's not hitting 1,600 total yards this year. If he has 1,200 rushing and 350 receiving and has 15 touchdowns, he's going to be a top 3 running back in the NFL this year, and he's going to hit that under. I think in their offensive line is not good still. I like Najee to go under 1,600.5 a lot.
Okay, I like that. An over that I like, I think Deontay Johnson's good. Okay.
Amazing. He's one of the most underrated wide receiver ones in the entire NFL.
1,000.5 for a team's top receiver. And I am a huge fucking believer in contract years mattering. It's his contract year.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think he's going to ball the fuck 1,000.5?
He's gone, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's gone because they're not
he's
going to pay him.
gone. Unless Kenny Pickett but we know Trubisky's not going to ball out. Unless Kenny Pickett comes in and he shocks the world and he's an absolute stud, Deontay Johnson is going to go somewhere where he's going to get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of going somewhere with absolute studs, we didn't touch it at the beginning of the episode, but Julio Jones has signed.
Yeah.
Julio to Tampa. Best wide receiver 4 in NFL history.
Yeah, see, it seemed like a why, and then you start thinking about it. And it almost is a no-brainer when you start thinking about what did he care about? Well, he gets to catch balls from Tom Brady and have a chance to win a Super Bowl.
And when he's on the field, he is going to be, I mean, if it's a 3 receiver set or a 4 receiver set, he is going to get the third or fourth best corner on the field covering him, because Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are going to take numbers 1 and 2.
Look at what Antonio Brown was going to be able to do if he would have A, stayed healthy, and B, not been a fucking nutcase.
But you know the difference between Julio and Antonio Brown are?
Well, one's
AB was the best receiver on that roster.
Yeah, God, he was so good still.
I know.
Good still.
Julio's a shell of himself. But
who knows? This could rejuvenate him. I mean, it might not, and he might he's going to help the team regardless. Now, as far as like what numbers he'll get, honestly,
there is no downfall at all for Tampa to sign him.
No, none, literally none, and none for him really either. That's
all right. Final team in the division, the Ravens.
The division champ, Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, Baltimore Ravens are winning this division. Over under at 10.5. Over is at plus 100. Under's at minus 120. I like the over. I like Baltimore to win the division at what were they? Plus 170.
Yes.
Last year, 25 players on the IR, including your RB1, your RB2, your RB3.
Well, Lamar Jackson's the RB1, but point.
Your RB2, your RB3, your RB4. Yeah, sure, they lost Hollywood, but they also, everybody has high hopes for Bateman. And there's a guy out there that for some weird reason, I just feel like he would fit Baltimore so well. Will Fuller. Will Fuller would be
Lamar likes throwing the ball.
Addition.
Yeah. And they have one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark Andrews is an absolute stud. But so, hold on, let me pull up my notes here for Baltimore. I typed something out I wanted to look at here. Oh, so Marcus Peters is back. They obviously signed Marcus Williams and Kyle Fuller. And then, in my opinion, the steal of the draft, Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame, the just multi-purpose safety who I think is going to be an absolute stud. That was like the most typical Baltimore Ravens draft pick.
Dude, they're a good fucking organization.
Yes, they are.
You just do smart shit.
Yes, they do.
And hammer this over. I swear, I love it. I mean, 10.5 is a lot. That's not a low total. But they're fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar's got – do I think Lamar can pass it with Justin Herbert or Russ or Mahomes or Josh Allen in the playoffs? That's a separate story. We're talking about the regular season, and he is a stud in the regular season.
Yeah.
As a quarterback, maybe not as like a passer, but, and I have a player prop that personally I love because I'm really high on Rashad Bateman. The dude just gets open. There's a lot of vacant targets, a lot of vacant looks with Hollywood leaving. Okay, Mark Andrews is still going to get his. Well, you figure Lamar's going to throw between 20 and 25 touchdowns for the year. That's what he does.
Tell me Bateman's at like 4.5.
5.5 for receiving TDs.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. Now he's an awesome player. I love him. I don't know how run heavy they're going to go. So, his receptions and his receiving yards kind of scared me. But six touchdowns on the year for the team's top receiver in an offense that's going to score damn points. Like,
as far as Lamar goes, like you said, you're a big believer in contract years, and that's what Lamar's working on right now as a contract.
Yeah, dude, he'll be in the MVP conversation. I'm sure.
Agree. I agree. I actually like a touchdown total under.
Okay.
Mark Andrews at 8.5. I like Mark Andrews to go under 8.5 for the reasons you
Regression to
brought
the
up.
mean, huh?
Yes, for the reasons you brought up. So he has, in his career, he's got seasons of 8, 7, and 10. So he's gone under that number 2 out of the 3 times. And I do think that with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Bus, and hopefully, Rashad Bateman making a name for himself, hell, maybe even Devin Duvernay stepping up if they sign Will Fuller or something. I like 8.5's a lot, man.
Yeah, that's a lot for a tight end. That's a lot for a number 1 receiver. Having to catch 9 touchdowns.
Yeah. So I like Mark Andrews under 8.5. But so to recap these, the North, we don't like the 160 on the Packers over. We like the Lions over 6.5 minus 125. The Bears under 6.5 minus 140. The Vikings to win the division at plus 300.
Which, if we like the Vikings to win the division at plus 300, I mean, I don't know.
9.5 wins at plus 105.
Yeah, that's good odds for an over.
Take them both. If they win 10 games but they don't win the division, you're still making a little bit. Making a little change. And Kirk Cousins, Captain Kirk, man, he stays healthy.
Yeah, I mean,
he takes big hits, but he stays healthy. So
he's good. He's not great, but he's good.
Correct. I mean, he had a really good year last year, like 33 touchdowns and 7 picks and like 4,200 yards. A damn good season for a quarterback.
He reminds me of Derek Carr a little bit. I think Derek Carr's got more of the clutch gene towards the end of the game, but they feel similar to me.
One of the best in crunch time, Derek Carr.
But aside from the final 2 minutes, they feel like similar players.
So
underrated.
Hear me out. I was talking with my buddy today. He lives down in Florida. He's a Tampa fan. And, he's just constantly Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that. Sent me some stupid-ass graphic today of, like, all their skill weapons. And I was just like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't care. And he was asking me, he's like, what do you expect out of Mac this year? And I was like, Bill's obviously raving about his improvement and all this and that. And I said, but also Bill raved about Cam Newton. So,
yeah,
we'll take it with a grain of salt. But my comparison, I said a ceiling for Mac Jones would be like Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have told you this before, I think, but I feel like Mac Jones is going to have a career like Andy Dalton, and that's not meant insultingly because he was good in Cincinnati. He was good. He had a stretch of years there where he was good, dude, and they were making the playoffs. He was just never great. It's easy to be like, oh, he was the ginger and the Steelers beat him. Let's not forget he should have won a playoff game that one year. I still don't – I mean, was it Jeremy Hill literally tossed the game to the Steelers? Literally tossed it to him.
I think Mac's going to be better than – I'm looking at Andy Dalton's career stats, man. I think Mac's going to be better than Andy Dalton.
See, and I liked Andy Dalton. I thought he was good.
So we're just –
I can get behind the Kirk Cousins comparison. Yeah. I can definitely do that.
Andy Dalton, rookie year, 20 touchdowns, 13 picks, then 27-16, 33-20, 19-7, 25-7. That's his best year.
Yeah, and those are good numbers. Those are not bad at all.
Yeah, just 3,200 yards, 25-7. I expect a lot more than that out of him. But yeah, okay. So it's not like necessarily the numbers, but it's the just not slightly above middle of the road quarterback.
Yes, that's like when I think of that quarterback, Andy Dalton and the Bengals pops into my head every time.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that guy could win you a Super Bowl on a loaded team, but he's not going to carry you to one.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, but he's such a weird case study because he was magnificent in those playoffs.
That was one of the most incredible playoff runs.
Right? He carried them in those playoffs. It was freaking awesome.
Absolutely insane.
And boy, Andy Dalton and Mac Jones have NFL caliber arms, obviously. Oh, Joe Flacco had a fucking cannon on him.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that one playoff run set his great grandchildren up for success.
Yes. Joe Flacco, elite question mark. Well, the answer in those playoffs was yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if your quarterback led you to that title, how you've got to pay him at that point. You're not playing hardball with a guy that just won you a Super Bowl with his stellar play. You're not. Mm-hmm. And then he decided to go back to Joe Flacco, the pumpkin, but whatever. They won the Super Bowl. That's not getting taken away from them.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I blame it on the lights. And the lights going out. It's all cheating.
Listen, if the lights didn't go out, it was pretty sure it was going to be an ass beating in favor of the Ravens, and then the lights went out, and things got interesting.
All right, that's the North divisions. So next week we have the West. There's going to be a lot of player props because there's so many weapons in both West divisions.
Dude, we might need a whole separate episode for each part of them. Honestly, I mean, we'll squeeze it into one, but like, we could spend 45 minutes on each conference as West.
Yeah. Like this episode's 45 minutes, but I feel pretty strongly about these divisions. Like looking at it when, getting ready for the show, I was going through totals and I was like, oh yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. I think this is pretty clear cut on where I stand in these divisions. It wasn't a lot of back and forth, which is pretty scary, which means probably just bet the opposite, because when you really like something that much, it's normally not good. We're
going to put a wager on the line here, you and I. A case of beer. Doesn't have to be like a stupid 24 rack, but like a nice
Squealers
for the Steelers.
Yeah, I'll take the under.
Absolutely. Okay, I'll take the over. Just a case of beer. We're not putting prices on it. If yours is $20 and mine's $23, it's no biggie. But a case of beer that we want.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
When they have the over hit already by the time the World Cup comes around, you can just bring that case of beer with you.
Absolutely not. I'd love to have some victory beers as I would cheer the Steelers on to a 5-12 season.
I mean, nothing would make me happier, so I won't be upset if I watch them suck dick and have to buy you a case of beer. Bring it. That's fine with me.
Now, I know one person who listens to this show religiously. Our buddy Jordan is going to be like super pissed that we sat here and bashed the Steelers, like that we're rooting against them. He's just one of the most diehard sports fans you'll ever meet in your entire life, and that guy truly bleeds black and gold. I
understand.
There is never you're not going to find a sports fan that I've ever met that is so devoted to his city's teams. It's insane.
Yeah,
honestly, it's impressive. Like I commend you for being I can't be like that.
Oh yeah, I know you and you're a huge sports fan. I don't know how I've dealt with being a fucking Jacksonville fan my whole life. Dude, it's miserable. It's literally miserable. I have not missed a game in 20 fucking years other than boot camp and deployment. Don't count, damn it.
Yeah.
Technically my choice, but not my choice. Other than that, I've not missed a game. Dude, I turn it on every Sunday and I'm like, well, here comes this fucking misery and waste of time for 3 hours, but I can't. It's like a chemical in my brain. I cannot not put that fucking game on. There's been days I've considered it. The end of a long season, they have 3 wins. I'm not going to watch the game this week. Yes, I am. Who am I kidding? So,
sorry, I got distracted there. Adam Schefter tweet, and it literally, all I saw on my alert was Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott ... And I was like, oh no. And it's nothing. It's just like, oh, he says he feels no pressure under his contract and future in Dallas. It's really nothing. But yeah, I was like, oh God, Zeke. Oh no.
Oh, we gotta take our playback.
Oh no. All right. So yeah, that's it. That's the North. East and South are done. West next week, college, and then the season finally is upon us. Like I said, this weekend, I want to get those plays out on the Instagram and then just hammer out the West and be done and get all our preseason plays out there. So I know, you have a bankroll for the season and it's, 33.3 units, whatever. 1 unit is 3% of your bankroll. That is for betting the season. These preseason plays, this is separate. This is a separate little, because we're going to play probably 20 to 30 units on preseason plays. Because there's totals we like and there's player props we like. And if we play 20, season long plays, which you might be like, oh, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's not really a lot. It's whatever.
I know what you're saying, but it is
Right.
a lot of units right there on one thing that you won't see payout for till
Correct.
at least 3/4 of the way through the season, more than likely. They hit
I
it.
know a lot of people struggle with having like dead money out there.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. This is how I look at it. Oh goodness. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I look at the brighter side of things. And I look at it as I put that money out there, I make that bet, I forget about that money.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
So
18 weeks later, you don't remember, you bet it.
when you win at the end of the year and
It's free money.
you go 13-7 and you make, 10 units, it's like, okay, let's go. I completely forgot about this money.
Right, because not only are you making the 10 units,
You're getting your money back.
You're getting 20 units into your bank, and it feels like 20, even though it's only a profit at 10.
Exactly. You put that money in there, you forget about it. It's an investment. It's gone. So, like you said, you bet 20 units. Say you're we'll say $1,000 bankroll. Sure. Okay. So a unit's $30 for you. You go out and you bet 20 units. You're betting $600. You turn a 10 unit profit on that. That's $300 profit. So at the end of the year, you're not only getting that 300 back, you're getting your 600, but you're getting $900 back that you completely forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
That's a $900 profit in my eyes.
And then you can go blow it on some degenerate March Madness shit, or blow it on Super Bowl props, or whatever you want.
Yeah,
listen to us, and you'll make money. But if you want to go blow it because you're degenerate, I'm not going to say I'll judge you.
That's right. All right, so the division winner parlay. We've gone through 6 divisions so far, and we agree the Colts, Tampa,
yes,
Buffalo,
yes,
the Eagles, who's today? Oh, the Ravens.
Yes. Now, are you talking for the parlay?
Yes.
Here's my question about the Ravens. As much as I love them, because you get such good odds already to bet them to win the division, do we want to also add them into the parlay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I do think they're going to win the division.
I do too.
The Ravens and the Vikings. So I sat down, just real quick, spoiler alert, who do you think is going to win the AFC West?
God, dude, I'm not kidding. I talk my gun to my head, Chargers.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's fine, because that's actually who I put into the calculations, because I like the Chargers as well. And then the NFC West, the Rams, right? Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rams. Okay. Yeah. So what I would like to do, and with full intentions on doing so, the Rams, the Chargers, the Ravens, the Vikings, the Colts, Tampa, Buffalo, and the Eagles. $100 bet on that 8-team parlay to win their division.
Oh God,
70 G's.
Whew.
Dude.
Whew.
I mean, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that's the type of potential profit that if you have one team fuck it up in the final week of the season, that's like funny videos of TVs getting broken, but it's not funny.
It's not, because then it's like, all right, I have seven. I didn't lose $100. I lost $70,000.
Right. If it's that close to it, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. The Jaguars took $500,000 out of my pocket once by stopping Joe Burrow. They do. By stopping
They've taken more than $500,000 in emotional turmoil out of me my whole fucking life. So
by stopping Joe Burrow on the inch line, and then they turned and handed off to Joe Mixon, $500,000 out of my pocket. Really only lost $100, but it felt like $500,000. But yeah, so yeah, I would, yeah. So those 6 division winners, and then I think, unless in the next 7 days we change from the Chargers, Rams, that would be, yeah, it's a big bet, but 70 G's off $100, that wouldn't be bad. It's
nope.
good. It's good ROI.
See you at the Final Four.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's good ROI. All right, so that's it for this week. How many weeks do we have until the season starts? So
not many.
Hang on here. Let me see here. Last week of July, so that's good. So then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
At the end of week 6 should be opening Thursday, right?
Yeah. So 6
During
weeks. We have 43 days, 6 weeks and a day until the opener, the Rams and the Bills. What an opener! I mean, what an absolute banger to start the year.
Well, nothing like a game that I couldn't tell you who the fuck I like to win right to start off our betting season.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be great. Well, last
Spoiler,
year
I like the
last year
Bills.
was great. Tampa and Dallas, and we just hit the over and absolutely crushed it. So that was great.
Yeah, Rams Bills, man. If that's a Super Bowl matchup, I wouldn't be in the slightest bit surprised.
Now, the first Saturday of college football.
Well, Backyard Brawl is September 1st. But
September
isn't there
1st.
a weird week before that where some
There
random
is.
teams play?
Yes, it's like week 0 or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. We got 5 minutes here until we hit that. I'm gonna look at the college football schedule and just look at what big matchups we have to come up. Obviously, in the Backyard Brawl is a big matchup, not for standings or anything like that, but just for the sake of it being, it was such a huge rivalry at one point.
Yeah, plus anything non-conference doesn't affect, obviously, conference winners.
So August 27th, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 weeks away. August 27th, that Saturday prior is the first week. You got like Nebraska, Northwestern, and some other team. No big games at all. But let's see here. Let's pull up ESPN and just see some top 25 matchups, because there's always one like top 5 matchup to start off the year. Last year,
I think you got Bama, Texas, right? That'll be a fucking slaughter.
Yeah, it will be. God, I know you hate Texas. I know.
I don't even hate Texas. I hate Texas fans.
I think that's how I am about the Steelers.
Yeah, be the Texan or Texas being good would be good for college football.
That'd be amazing for college football.
You ever looked at all the rich, spoiled white kids in the stadium in Austin? Bunch of little fucks is what they look like.
It's bad.
Yeah. Although I will say, let me be fair. Any of the Texas fans I've met, like there were 2 kids at the game 2 years ago that drove up, or a couple years ago. They said they literally took a weekend trip, drove to Morgantown from Texas just to experience it and drive back. They were super nice. But I guess you're not going to be an asshole when you're surrounded by the other team's fans. So
I guess, yeah.
You're more likely to be. You're also probably not going to drive that far if you're going to be a drunk idiot. You're there to see the game and to watch your team.
Texas, Bama. Let's see. I'm trying to look for another big team here. Iowa State, Iowa, be a good game. Kansas, WVU, be a good game between 2 shit teams. USC, Stanford. Yeah, all right. They really don't. I don't even think they have the rankings out. Like they have to have preseason rankings official.
I don't know if they do.
No, they don't. They don't have They do not have the 2022 rankings out yet. So once that's out, that'll be a lot easier.
NIL shit, like.
Yeah, waiting to see how all that plays out. All right, man. 58 minutes. That's it. Anything?
No, just no. I don't want to say happy to be back because we're on week 3, but let's keep her rolling, huh? We're always open to feedback, comments, any questions, anything you guys want from us, just let us know. We're open to most things.
The Seahawks, I want to applaud the organization. Chris Carson retired, and they did right by him by releasing him under a failed physical so that he got to collect injury insurance. So he's going to get multiple $1 million out of that. Always was a Chris Carson fan. In his 5 short years, I thought he was pretty good, but a neck injury is nothing to play with. So it's a shame. I mean, the shelf life on running backs just continues to go down. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. But we'll see, man. We'll see what Kenneth Walker and Rashad Penny. I mean, will he solidify himself? Probably not. I think Walker takes that spot, right?
Yeah, he is freaking good though. Yeah. If he's healthy.
Right.
All you ladies pop your pussy like this. Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. All you ladies pop your pussy like this. Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. Just do it, do it, do it, do it, do it now. Lick it good, suck this pussy. Just
I shouldn't have played that. Oh,
Might as well just. Oh,
I wanted the my neck, my back, but
my
in honor
pussy
of Chris,
in my crack.
in honor of Chris Carson. I forgot how the song started.
Yeah.
Thanks, Khalees. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put the explicit tag on this episode.
Fuck it.
All right, so that's it. Hour long. We'll talk to you guys next week. We love you and look forward to those plays on Instagram.
Yep. Have a good one.